Welcome back to this week's episode of Ouens with Opinions. My name is Dane, and in this week's episode, we will be discussing social justice warriors as well as sugar babies, aka the sacrifice. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel, and be sure to follow us on Instagram and on Spotify. Hope you enjoy this week's episode. So as for the next topic, we will be covering social justice warriors. So y'all know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just give the Wikipedia definition, and then I'll give the Google definition, or should I say Oxford? So Oxford says, Oxford. What's going on, guys? Oxford says a person who expresses or promotes socially progressive views. Okay, and then according to the Wikipedia website, it says a social justice warrior, or a SJW, is a pejorative term and internet meme used for an individual who promotes socially progressive, left-wing, and liberal views. This includes feminism, civil rights, gay and transgender rights, identity politics, political correctness, and multiculturalism. Mr. Dan, what do you think, bro?
Are you going to start with me?
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to use the British accent. He used the Oxford Dictionary. So I would love that, but not at the moment. So speaking on the topic, why are you laughing? They're not taking me seriously. Come on, please, just keep it in. Okay, it's fine. Anyways, I'm just going to speak with the accent for a bit. Because Oxford. So yeah, speaking on the topic, I'm also on the nuance of there's certain stuff that one needs to. They laugh. These. I'm going back to the British accent.
No. I should have left out the teapot, but it's fine.
It's fine. It's a good joke. You want the jokes in there. All right. So as I was saying, when you speak on social justice warriors, like I said, there's nuance to situations like this. There are some stuff that one needs to consider. Maybe change needs to happen. And in circumstances like that, you want to take it on a case-to-case basis. And as he was saying, you got stuff like feminism, you got stuff like, what was the other one that you mentioned?
The one was civil rights.
Civil rights.
And transgender rights, identity politics, political
And
correctness, and multiculturalism.
Yes. So with all those topics, I would really advise people to be very nuanced in their thinking when they deal with those topics. We understand feminists are a women who want women to be considered. So yeah, feminism is women who want women to be considered. That's the new definition. And so I think they may be somewhat merit, but not to the extreme that some women would take it, right? So I don't want to speak too long because these are topics that you might want to go into detail with. What I would want to say is social justice warriors don't have to go to the lengths that they do most of the time. Some stuff need to. Is there something I said wrong? Okay, sorry. Yeah, sometimes with the stuff that you want, you have to pick your battles. You need to pick the hills that you want to die on, right? Some stuff you're just gonna have to. If you're thinking long term, you just have to leave as is for the betterment of the society, right? So a personal thing would be they and them, A situation like that, as much as people want to feel like I want to identify myself as a they or a them, if we're thinking logically, it doesn't really make sense because you're one person, right? And he and she is a better pronoun that will help people identify in most circumstances, right? So as much as you want to feel like, oh, I want to identify myself as that, it's not going to help you in the long term if you really think about it. So what I would say to the social justice warriors is just really think about the stuff that you want to fight for before you just follow somebody who's saying something and stuff like that. I hope that was helpful. And sorry for the British accent that was cut out.
And the tea that was offered as well.
Yeah, I need to go make me some tea now. See you.
Okay. With regards to the social justice warriors, I'm going to focus more on the keyboard warriors actually, because that's what majority of them are. People need to understand that when you have a platform where you can share your opinion to the whole world, you do as well have a responsibility. Because there are people out there that do not care about one another's feelings. Granted, that's understandable. There's people out there that do not share the same views as you. There's people out there that shouldn't even have a say on social media or on any comment section in general, to be honest with you, because it's a lot of them has, well, not a lot of them, but some of them just has a very ignorant comment to put on there, which doesn't take into account how the person that, for instance, posting a picture might feel, or posting a video, or trying to share their creativity with the world might feel. And I feel like that is that happens a lot. So what the social justice warrior might do is they try and push these progressive ideologies on people that do not share the same ideologies, which is a bit of an issue because are we not supposed to be ourselves if we're not allowed to be ourselves? For instance, with me and the guys over here, we believe in biblical principles, and if I'm not allowed to practice my biblical principles, what makes it? What gives you the right to practice your principles that you find important to you? I feel like trying to bash me or choke me into submitting to your way of life is unfair on me. That's kind of oppression from you, don't you think? And I feel as though I want to just point out with regards to the different he, she's, and they topic that Daniel was speaking about. I want you guys to know that there's 84 different genders in the world right now. There's probably more now, but 84 different genders. I don't know about you guys, but personally, when I was growing up, I grew up with a man and a woman. Um, and I feel as though, yeah, and I think that biology kind of speaks for itself. And I want to just add that um, everyone has a lot of feelings that they go through every day, and everyone wakes up with a different feeling every day. How you feel today might not be how you feel tomorrow or even in the next 5 years. And I kind of draw the line when I hear things like 7-year-olds that are allowed to go to doctors and decide for themselves when they will make life altering surgery when they don't have the capacity to comprehend what they're actually doing at that age. Because that's what happened with another 7-year-old girl. The parents didn't even need to be there for her to be able to go through with that surgery. The doctors didn't even need the parents' consent. And I feel like there's something wrong with that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like a 7-year-old child doesn't have the ability to think about what he or she is doing. And this child is now going around the world telling people, warning people about this, that it is something that is bad in the sense of if you go and find out for yourself. Apparently, they say that suicide rates has been pushed up by 11% to people after they have their surgery done, and I feel like changing your gender, changing your face, changing your appearance in through surgery or whatever it is not going to change the person who you are inside. Again, I'm going to reflect to what we were saying with regards to to the the Slayers, I think it was. Yeah. Yeah, the Slayers is that you first have to find love for yourself. You are naturally, wonderfully, and beautifully made in the image of a God that felt like how you look is perfect. So at no point should you want to pursue another image or because you might think someone else might look better than you. If someone can't love you for who you are and how you look, that person doesn't deserve to be in your life whatsoever. Not in the slightest. But one thing's for sure is that God loves people that follow Him, and we need to understand that God is always there for you. There's no reason for you to feel ever alone because human beings will always let you down. but God will never let you down. Although it might feel that way, but we'll speak about that in another topic. And I'm speaking too long here, Dane.
Yeah, thanks, Chad. So I'm gonna come from the part where social justice warriors that you find at university, for example, and then those that they leave and then they enter into the workplace afterwards. So those guys that obviously were at university and they were like on the forefront of fees must fall and all these things. Uh, to be honest, most of them give it up unless they go into like working for the ANC or DA or whatever political party there is out there now. Not really a lot of them go into those places. They go into corporate. And then in corporate they realize they can't catch on those things because uh, it's confined to certain settings, you see. Because in order to make it in the job place, you need to understand that there are certain rules and norms that you have to follow, which means that when you enter into that gate, you have to leave your political views at the gate instead of having to instigate or to create an uprising or things like that amongst the co-workers, you see. So to be honest, most of the social justice warriors that we see are sometimes fly by nights, and only a few of them actually make it a career, such as Julius Malema. And I can only think of him for now. Julius, do you have any other examples, guys, of any other? Okay, okay. Yeah, no, that's apartheid's time, but I'm talking about now the most recent ones that have actually made it for themselves. Um, so yes, most of them like they push it at universities, but then 5 years down the line you meet them and then they're like not doing what they said that they were gonna do. And then actually, funny enough, I had a conversation with somebody who said to me, I worked with this guy, and then he told me, when I was at university, I used to, speak about all these things. I used to be one of those at the protests that we always took part in. And then I realized at the end of the day, a man's got to eat. That was his line. A man's got to eat, which means he decided to, hide that part of his life in order to make it in the corporate world. To be honest, that's another whole topic on its own. But my point about social justice warriors is that most of them are not committed to living that lifestyle as a social justice warrior. It's just a fad in their lives at that point, maybe for some popularity or whatever. But yes, that's just my point on that. Yeah.
I just want to add one thing is that exactly what Dane was saying. I mean, just look at, like, I feel like these days, if something's not a trend, people don't care anymore. Yeah. And I feel like that's the biggest problem is that if you are fighting for a cause, you can't choose to be posting 3 or 4 pictures in 1 week and then all of a sudden you don't care. Because that's what happened with BLM. Because right now, I guarantee you, Black lives still matter. Yeah. What happened with the Free Palestine, I feel like we need to understand that people are still suffering Palestine, but people aren't posting about it anymore. It's not a phase you can go through if you want to really fight for a cause. If you really want to fight for a cause, don't be a fly by night. Don't pretend like you care just because everyone else is posting it. Be your own person.
Yeah. Yes. So the next topic is sugar babies.
Or the sacrifice.
The one that includes the sacrifice. Yeah. Who would like to start with that one?
They're gonna sit back for this one. Yeah. This is a whole. So yeah, the thing is sugar babies, the sacrifice. So I would say it's something that's been going on recently, and especially with university students or just young women, where young women go to clubs, go to these festivals and whatsoever thing is. A group of girls, a group of friends, girls, go to these thingies, and then what the group of girls do is they tell the prettiest among them, right? The prettiest among them. To, yeah, the French accent is coming through. I feel like I can continue like this. Le bleu, le prettiest, le merveilleux, le belle. But
British now, friends. I'm sorry, guys. Please don't get offended by these guys. They're just terrible.
No, I've got good accents. Come on, you gotta give me the good accents.
But the thing is, man, like we live in South Africa, so these accents, like we're so used to it. So the point is, we are able to, mimic and mock other languages. It's not an issue.
I would honestly love to see someone from France. Please, guys, someone from France. Please send us a video of you mocking a boza. Please,
South
please do
African
it. Please do it.
Trying to do a South African accent. You,
Sugar baby,
my
sorry.
bro, you gonna flop. I tell you, my bro. Okay. So, anyways, sugar babies. So yeah, we were talking about girls who go to clubs, events, and then the girls say the prettiest one, you go soften up a guy who's older, maybe who's got money, buy us drinks. Let's have a good time using his money, and then that guy probably thinks he's gonna take you home when everything is done and dusted, right? So sometimes we've heard a woman tell us, we went to a restaurant and we were talking about it there, and she told us that sometimes the girl who softens up the guy and who the guy thinks is going to go home with him decides, I don't want to go home with you after using all your money, and guess what happens? He's probably wearing a vest or wife beater under there. So, was that a bad joke?
I don't know, bro.
I'm sorry. Yeah, go on. So what happens is that she probably gets beaten up, something happens to her, and she suffers the consequences, hence the title, The Sacrifice. So just speaking about that mindset, it's very sad that friends will sacrifice somebody else like that. I remember a girl once told me that she used to hang out with people, they would smoke, they would drink, but she realized that they weren't really her friends. They were just together because they were doing that. And those are the type of people that will easily put you up for sale or sacrifice you just to get something that they want or to enjoy themselves in a certain way. So that mindset is very detrimental, because what is loyalty now? What is the respect of somebody else who is a human being? You sacrificing that person. So that is try to explain that and just giving my take on it. Guys, it's not really, especially girls, you don't have to do that. And if you are a girl who does that, please just stop. Comrade. And in fact, you are not my comrade. Honorable. Just stop. In fact, you are not honorable if you do that. There's nothing honorable about that. If you do that, don't have people in situations like that where they could get hurt, and it could become a psychological and mental, emotional thing that stays with them for years to come. That's my 2 cents.
Yes. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Ouens with Opinions. Be sure to follow, like, comment, and subscribe on all social media platforms. We are on Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube. Drop a comment on any other topics that you would like to hear next. Ciao.